Hello, welcome everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today for the next steps for year one for UBC Engineering Okanagan bound students. Okay, so as I mentioned, my name is Spela. Hi, okay, so many of you, fantastic. I'm an engineering advisor at UBC Okanagan. I also did my undergrad and graduate degree at UBC Okanagan, so I was a student here as well, and I did some teaching. So that's a little bit about me, and I'm very excited to spend a little bit of time with you this evening. So next up, oopsies. There it is. Okay, so I'm going to start by just giving you a brief overview of what you can expect from year one. So in first year, students take the same 12 foundational courses, or 10 if students are on the 5-year degree plan. And this includes the basics or the foundational skills that you will need for whatever specialization you choose to pursue at UBC Okanagan. So at UBC Okanagan, the specializations are civil, electrical, mechanical, and manufacturing. And these first year courses, there's 2 that cover foundational engineering design principles. There's courses on chemistry, physics, calculus. There's even a communications course, kind of setting you up for success as you move along in your degree. Right away at the start of year one, you can join the design teams. Sometimes there's even research opportunities for first year students, and you automatically have access to free tutoring. There's a learning strategist to kind of help fine-tune study skills because it is a bit of a shift to move from high school to university. Our academic advising office is available. Instructors are very excited to talk to students. They have office hours. Often they'll answer questions by email. So there's a lot of resources available to support you right away. You're going to see on this slide that there's a note about second year placement. That's referring to the process of once you complete all of the foundational first year courses and you select your specialization, with which at UBC Okanagan is guaranteed. So basically that's just there to say year one foundational courses set you up for success in year 2 and so forth. All right, moving forward. And if while I'm talking you have any questions, feel free to just put them in the Q&A and we'll have some time at the end for me to answer them. So some of the highlights of year one are the 2 foundational design courses. So in term 1, that's Applied Science 169, which is the fundamentals of sustainable engineering and design. So kind of looking at the sustainability of engineering projects, kind of from start to finish, and also assessing for risks in your engineering project, how they're going to impact society and the environment, for example. And then in term 2 is Applied Science 171, where students learn engineering drawing and 3D CAD/CAM modeling. And some of the really cool things about these projects is that some students will take the projects that they did in these courses and they will either start startups with up, or they'll join competitions like AquaHack and international engineering hackathons. So kind of cool, some of these projects. All right, okay. I see there's a question about shifting to Vancouver. I see it, I've made note of it. I will answer at the end. Next, so if you're planning, you're getting ready, you're either waiting for your offer, you're thinking about it, or you've already gotten it and you're thinking about, okay, what can I be doing to kind of prepare? A good place to start is by checking the School of Engineering Undergraduate Academic Advising website. This is the one on the screen here, and it's going to be a little bit tiny on your screens. I'm sorry about that, but this first arrow is pointing to a tab called registration, and then beside it, there's one called advising sheets, and then course planning. So this one will take you to the ins and outs of registering for your courses, tips and tricks. It's a great place to kind of get started, to get some of your answers questions. The advising sheets, once you click on that tab, you can scroll through the different specializations and see what the different specializations require. So as I mentioned, year one, all the same, regardless of what you're doing. But then things start, you get slightly different course choices in years 2, 3, and 4. And when you click on those advising sheets, you can see which of those courses are going to be required depending on the specialization that you're interested in. And then course planning just gives you a little bit more information about things like minors and options and all that fun stuff. So great place to check out. The other thing you're probably thinking about is how do you actually go about registering for courses? So the first step there is to, you want to go to the students.ok.ubc.ca website, and then up in this top right-hand corner, you're going to see logins, and you want to click on the Student Service Center, the SSC. That is going to be a very important site for you, so you want to make sure to bookmark that. Once you get there, you are going to see the following screen. So you can find courses to register in by either clicking on registration, course schedule, or it'll be the top bubble. It'll just say course registration there. If you get stuck, you can check out this need help section. They'll have common questions and as well as video tutorials. So once you click on course schedule, it's going to take you to a page that looks like this. Now, the most important thing to check here is you want to make sure that you're toggled to campus, UBC Okanagan, and session 2023 winter. It's not going to show up yet if you're going to this page, but give it a couple weeks and you should be able to see the 2023 winter button. Then you are going to go. You can click, there's a few different ways to browse. My favorite is just to click directly on courses. I always double check to make sure that it says UBC Okanagan and 2023 winter because sometimes it shifts. And then I'm going to click on A and applied science, and then that will list all of the applied science courses. You are going to be looking at all of the ones that are 100. So 172, 176, anything that's 100 means that's in the 100s means that it's a first year course. So the courses that you're going to be taking in your first year are in term 1 if you are on the 4-year degree plan. So that means you intend on finishing your degree in 4 years, or 5 if you do a co-op. You will be taking, it says 171 engineering, drawing, and CAD/CAM, but it's actually switching. So it's going to be Applied Science 169, Fundamentals of Sustainable Engineering Design. And then 172, Engineering Analysis, 176, Engineering Communications, 179, Linear Algebra for Engineers, Applied Science 180, Statics, and Applied Science 182, Matter and Energy. If you are pursuing the 5-year degree plan, you would only be taking 5 courses per term. And so you would be taking all of the same courses as if you were doing the 4-year degree plan, except you wouldn't be doing the communications course. So you would drop in term 1, you would leave the communications course for either the summer or the following year. And then in term 2, you would be doing Applied Science 171, Engineering, Drawing, CAD/CAM, Applied Science 173, Engineering Analysis 2, 178, Electricity, Magnetism, and Waves, 177, Engineering, Computation, and Instrumentation, Applied Science 181, Dynamics, and 183, Matter and Energy. So you would, if you were doing the 4-year plan, then you would do all of those courses except for 177, Engineering, Computation, and Instrumentation. And we are recommending that students pursue, really consider doing the 5-year degree plan, just because 6 courses is quite a bit, and that doing a five courses per term is a nice way to move into and adjust from high school to university. It gives you a chance to check out some of the other things like the design clubs, maybe do intramural sports, that sort of thing. If you start on the 5-year degree plan, and then at the end of year 1, you're like, you know what, I think I can move up to 6. In that case, you can either take 6 courses next year, each term, or and you can make up the 2 courses that you missed in the summer. So that it doesn't hurt you if you start with 5 and then shift after. All right. So some of you might have AB, IB, or British Pattern Curriculum credit, and you might be wondering if you can use those for your degree, your Applied Science or Bachelor of Applied Science degree. Maybe. So there's only 5 courses that you can get IB AP credit for. Those are Applied Science 172, 173, 176, and 183, and the humanities elective that's required for most of the specializations in second year. And we just note that even though you can technically get credit for 173, just because of the specifics of what's offered in that course, we still recommend that you take it at UBCO. So if you have these credits and you're like, you know what, I think I might have, for example, I took an AP English class and I think it might count as the first year engineering class 176. I want to see if I can get that covered. So the first step is to submit your AP or IB credits through right here through this first year credit. And then those credits are reviewed by the university as a whole. And then you need to submit a transfer credit application. And that prompts us at the School of Engineering to review that credit to see if it will fit to your degree. An important reminder if you're thinking about this and you're registering for courses. When you register for your courses, register for all of your courses as if you will not get any credit, any transfer credit. And then wait until you get official email written approval that you've gotten the transfer credit before you drop anything. And it's always an extra good idea is to check with an advisor to make sure that your plan is okay. All right. So my number 1 tips for registration, if you were thinking ahead, plan ahead. You are going to get, when we looked at registering for courses, when you're looking through those courses, you will have the option of adding those courses to a work list. I strongly, strongly recommend that you play around with the different sections that are offered of each course and the tutorials and the labs, and make several different work lists of schedules that might work for you, so that then you can quickly slot in your courses when your registration opens. Your registration is going to open on June 19th, 2023, and you will get an email 2 weeks in advance with the exact date and time of your registration. And then it's always a good idea to register as close to that as possible because the sections do fill quite quickly. All right. Other things you might want to start thinking about and exploring as you're waiting to register, if you've already accepted your offer, or if you are just kind of trying to do a little bit more research, or if you're waiting to hear, is check out our design teams. Check out some of the different research opportunities. And then it's always kind of nice to also check out some of the resources that might be available to you. So that might be things like free tutoring at the Learning Hub. They also have a learning strategist, something called supplementary learning sessions. You can check out our academic advising page, start thinking about how you might want to reach out to instructors, that sort of thing. All right. Next is you might also want to reach out to the academic advising team. Those are the 5 of us right here. Down to that right. Yep. We are the academic advisors for the Okanagan School of Engineering. And so we can help you pick your courses. We can help with things like minors and options. If you're thinking you might want to do a Go Global exchange or a coordinated international experience, we can help with all of that as well. And I'm seeing some more questions come in. Awesome. Oopsies. Where did you go? Keep them coming. You can connect with the advising team. You can email us at soe.advising@ubc.ca. A good practice when you're emailing always is to include your student number because that gives us a chance to look you up and see all of the specifics. You can visit us for virtual, or if you're already in the Okanagan, in-person advisings. That's typically Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. And then we also do virtual and in-person appointments. Now, as soon as you are accepted, or as soon as you receive your offer and get a student number, you are able to book appointments with us in PD Portal. If you haven't received an offer yet, or maybe don't have a student number, you can still visit us and drop an advising, and we can work with you there. All the access point for the PD Portal to book appointments and to visit us in drop-ins is right here. Note that if you want to make an appointment with us and PD Portal isn't working for you, you can always send us an email and we will help you out. All right. All right. So other cool things that you might want to start researching, kind of dig into that SOE advising page, look into, are in second and at the start of second and third year, students are eligible to apply for co-op. So you can get paid work experience while you're doing your degree. Students can apply for a minor or an option. Those are kind of, a minor is like an additional toolkit for your degree, whereas an option is a narrowing in of some of the courses that you take. I see that there was a question here, is a biomedical minor available at Okanagan campus? So we don't offer a biomedical minor, but we do offer a biomedical option. So the option shows up on the student's transcript and it just kind of specifies the courses that students are taking, usually in their fourth year, to focus on biomedical. Our other options are aerospace, mechatronics, environmental, and resilient infrastructure management. And in terms of minors, we offer arts, computer science, and management. You can think about studying abroad with Go Global or the coordinated international experience. That's typically done in term 2 of third year, or in year 4 or 5 if you're on the 5-year degree plan. We have a fantastic mentorship student program where students can, first year students are linked with upper year students, and then upper year students, so second year, third year, and fourth year, are connected with industry partners. So that's a really cool program. As I mentioned before, we have a ton of design and different clubs. There's a concrete toboggan club, there's an aerospace club, there's a motor sports club. So some cool clubs to check out. And then you can also do some volunteering. All right, so your next steps. You want to pay close attention to important dates and deadlines. So for Okanagan, those are going to be highlighted at u.ubc.ca, applying UBC dates and deadlines. Okay, so a key one to think about is the May 1st. If you are a first year student coming from high school and you want to live on campus, make sure you apply for housing by May 1st. Even if you haven't yet received an offer, you want to make sure that you are applying for housing by May 1st. And then you're also wanting to make sure that you are accepting your offer by June 1st. You also want to double check your specific offer letter because it will have the specific dates for when you need to accept your offer. But June 1st is the general deadline, and don't forget that May 1st deadline for housing. The other thing you want to do as you're getting ready and doing your research is to look at some of the different orientations that are available. So UBC 101 is the online orientation, and it gives you weekly content, literally all things UBC Okanagan, from how to select your courses, what kind of books to get, what to expect here, what kind of supports will be available to you, what is academic integrity, what kind of fun things can you do. It's all covered in that UBC 101 orientation. And there's also connectors and upper year students that can talk to you and share some of your experiences. There's also an in-person Jumpstart orientation, which is a week-long orientation, typically the week before class starts. And it's on campus, so you can kind of check it out and get a sense of what's going on before you start courses. It's a nice kind of ease in. And then Create usually happens within the first week of classes, and it's a one-day general orientation. So if you're interested in any of those, you want to check out the students.ok, where did that go? UBC/new to UBC orientations. The other thing to check, wow, I'm giving you a lot of information. I'm sorry. I promise I will answer the questions that I see there. Is the students.okubc.ca website. The green arrow is all of your important logins. The red arrow where you can go for questions. If you're an international student, that purple arrow and you click on international students take you to all things international students. Indigenous students, the orange arrow takes you to Indigenous student advising and additional information and supports. And then on the top, you see there's new to UBC, so what to expect as you're coming, how to prepare for academic success, student wellness, so things like counseling supports, clicking on campus life, career and experience, and then courses, money, all of that fun stuff. I hope you all have a great rest of your event, and don't forget to check out the rest of the sessions. Bye-bye.